Okay, so Jay, at the weekend, Leinster were crowned URC champions, having defeated the Bulls. Both needed to get, as is the topic of the episode, a monkey off their back because Bulls get to the finals, choked against Glasgow Warriors. Leinster dominate the entire log, but when it comes to knockout rugby, they can never put it together. But they defeated Glasgow on the route to the finals, got to the Bulls, played at home, and they dismantled the Bulls in utterly dominant fashion, got tries in very early, and they never really looked back. When you look at the Bulls and how they play this final and how they're still not URC champions after so many attempts and so many finals, is there something missing with the Bulls here, or is it just a matter of you guys met Leinster and it is what it is?
It was about damn time Leinster won, right?
Yeah.
Everything we've seen from them in the league phase of this competition since its inception, they've been favorites every single season, and they start every single season as favorites. And that's because they can turn up to a final and have 22 of their 23 be internationals, you know. In terms of the final itself and this season, they really played up to their level. At first, 40 minutes in the final, they were just unplayable. You would have needed an international team to compete against them, you know. And yeah, they really flexed their muscle in that one and deserved champions. The Bulls are concerned. There's now like three losses in finals. Like, this competition has been around for 4 years, and they are the proverbial bridesmaids in this one. And if you listen to Jake White, what needs to happen to answer your question, Chuck, is that they need more firepower. They need to fight fire with fire. And Jake White was, that man was singing, that man was crying after this result. Even before the final, he told us something that we know. He told us that we're playing against an international team that is disguised as Leinster. And I was like, hey, man. And afterwards, he said that as well, that he's not as cut up about this loss as the previous losses, because, again, we lost against a test team. And I feel that he was continuously putting pressure on the guys who bankroll the Bulls that get me more internationals. I cannot compete against Leicester unless you get me a similar number of internationals in this team, because he said academy players are not going to do it. And we know next season, Henry Pollard is coming back, Jan Serfontein is coming back, Jan Stefan Rensburg is also coming to
Serfontein is coming back.
Serfontein is coming back.
The same one that I know, Jay.
The very same man.
And how old is he? Because
who was doing the business in the early
Marcel Coetzee came back. Captain looks decent. Is there still some Vuma in Serfontein?
I haven't seen Serfontein in a while. I know he's over 30 now, but he is an international. Okay. It meets the criteria of what Jake White is looking for. So I don't know, Chuck, if you can attract all that many internationals, because what are you going to pay them with, you know? So I think I saw the budget differences where the teams in Europe, like a Leinster or even a Toulouse, they have a budget of like 10 million euros, whereas the Bulls it's 1 million euros, you know. And we know the rand to the pound and the euro there's nothing much you can do, you know. You have to have guys, South African Springbok players, who want to be in South Africa and want to play for the Bulls. But yeah, Jake White is right. That's what they need. I just don't want to hear it from Jake White, man.
Jake White, which I'm sure was the player who was solely missed in the final. Kenan Moody, Willie Leroux with the experience. He had a team I think
was. He needs more, Chuck.
What more? Like, you finished second in the URC table. How much do you want to stack like PSG? You want to stack like a Real Madrid? You want Galacticos?
That's what he wants, because he says Leinster go down a player. They replaced that international with another international. He wants depth like the Mariana Trench.
So Jake White was basically approaching the final like what we did in 2009 when you play FIFA against Drogba. Then there's nothing you can do. You can play, but there's nothing you can do when he gets onto the ball. Jay, I think, and not necessarily siding with Jake White, but you came across Leinster, like a proper Leinster. They tended to choke, but not this time. I saw the game against Glasgow and I was like, Glasgow, you came this far to get battered like that. That happened to the Bulls as well. So not much you can do when the player of the year is playing there. When Van der Fleer is there as well, that's one listen to is a coincidence.
He's South African.
He should be here as well. Two traitors. So all these talents should be playing for the Bulls, and maybe it'll be different. But Jay, I think it's a matter of showing up, man. Because sometimes, even if you don't play your best rugby, you need to show up. And yes, as good as Leinster were, the Bulls made it easy for them because you can't get onto the board after 5 minutes. That's just open gate. You give them confidence. You're playing away from home. The crowd's going to get onto your backs. I think the Bulls didn't show up. Like so many times we've lamented against with the Springboks against before we started thrashing the All Blacks all willy-nilly. There was that test in Eden Park where you got that we considered like early tries.
57-0.
Which one?
The 57-0.
Yes, we considered very early, like and the heads drop, So
Oh no, you're talking about two seasons ago.
yes, we're sorry. Mapimpi didn't complete a tackle. Someone didn't complete a tackle, and then that went on to a try. You're like, we had them all along. We were holding the fort. We were standing strong in terms of defense. So that kind of start, Jay, put us on the back foot already. Us against South African team. I'm a Sharks supporter. Put the Bulls onto the back foot, Jay, and I think at that point they shrinked because at some point have good defense, batter into them, do the typical South African thing. Then if you can't play good rugby, if you can't play champagne, or if you can't exert your physical dominance in terms of set plays, at least in the collision, let them know you're there. I didn't quite get that sense, but also Leinster is good. I think that's the short of it.
They
Leinster's
are
also
great,
good.
and they earned their championship in a window of championships